Soccer is the beautiful game, rich in tradition and history. But maybe it's time to nix the penalty kick, the worst right call in sports. Man, I love soccer. I mean, the football that American football and rugby came from. Side note, the word football is actually thought to have originally meant any sport played not on horses but on foot. Anyway, refereeing a soccer match is not easy. Until very recently, every FIFA-sanctioned game was officiated by a crew of 4 guys overseeing a sport played by 22 active participants on a huge field. Now it's 6. I don't know who would even sign up to do that. Idiots, I guess. Even the best soccer referees in the world miss calls that can potentially mean the difference between a tie and a loss, or a pivotal shift in the momentum of the game. For some strange reason, they still haven't adopted video reviews of calls, and the head referee is technically not allowed to make or change a call after seeing an instant replay on the big screen. Today though, the biggest rules blunder still in the books is the penalty kick. I actually can't believe there isn't more of a movement to sack this turd of a call. Ideally, the punishment should fit the crime, or at least as close as it can get considering we're human beings. And there isn't another penalty in sports as egregious a miscarriage of justice as the penalty kick. In fact, explaining it to someone who isn't familiar with the rules is like summarizing the Old Testament to someone who didn't grow up going to church. If they've achieved any semblance of critical thought before they hear about it the first time, it won't ever sound not stupid. I'll describe it briefly because maybe listening to it in plain English will help even lifetime fans realize how profoundly absurd it is. Any foul committed by the defense inside the penalty area, a box defined mainly by a line 54 feet from the end of the field where the defense's goal is, results in a free shot at goal 36 feet away and directly in front of it with only the goalkeeper to stop it. I would explain what an indirect kick is, which is the other thing that can be called inside the penalty area for the offensive team, but I won't because they're exceptionally rare for the offense inside the penalty area, and you could watch an entire season of soccer in 10 countries and never see one. The surface area of the goal is 192 square feet, which is 109 times larger than a basketball hoop and exactly 8 times the size of a hockey goal. The fact that pros commonly miss penalty kicks in and of itself is ridiculous. Anyway, here's why the penalty kick is so shitty. Mainly the issue is that the spectrum of offenses resulting in a penalty kick is just vast. As an offensive player, you could be just inside the corner of the penalty area with the entire other team in between you and the goal, and you get brushed enough to make you trip, so you go down. What's the result? You get a free crack at the goal that you don't have a good excuse for missing, even with your weaker foot. No need to worry about your chance of scoring before you got fouled. Statistically speaking, it was squat. Now let's say you go berserk like a beer league Lionel Messi and shimmy your way through the whole stunned defense, with the goal wide open and the ball still miraculously at your feet. You bring your leg back to deliver the coup de grace. Blazam! You get helicoptered in a desperate tackle from the least coordinated but unfortunately nearest defender, sending the ball scuffling out of play away from the goal. Ray Lewis gets ejected for attempted murder. Actually, it's called denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. But what reward do you get for the foul? Yeah, you guessed it. Same thing, a penalty kick, with virtually the same chance of scoring as the result of the other foul. Everything in between scenario 1 and scenario 2 goes to a shot from the penalty spot as long as it happens inside the penalty area. Naturally, this head-scratcher of a rule has incentivized offensive players to fake being fouled in the penalty box. Who wouldn't, when there's that much to gain? It's important to point out that it's not the referee's fault almost ever. Seeing exactly what contact occurred between a few moving players from a distance of 40 feet wouldn't always be easy, even if one of them wasn't trying to feign foul play. So this has reduced this sport at times to a little more than a pathetic theater consisting of 2 stages in the penalty boxes, and its players to childish, tantrum-throwing thespians waiting for any opportunity to simulate assault and battery. Goals are relatively scarce in the sport, and this one rule has decided many important games for better or worse. If it's about encouraging higher scores, there's so many better ways to do that. Shorter fields, bigger goals, walls that keep the ball in bounds, fewer players per team, etc., etc. Let's save soccer from completely morphing into professional diving. And if I wanted to see such bad acting around balls, I'd start watching B-reel porn.